Hi friends, Pam Shepherd with Pamela Shep Productions here, and I thought I would chit chat with you today while I'm putting on my makeup. I've been gone from my page for a good little bit since February. My mother-in-law, my 95-year-old mother-in-law, was here visiting, and she fell, and we had to call the ambulance, and she broke her pubic remus, I think is how they called it. And so we had to, you know, of course, like I said, call the ambulance and everything. So they came out to the house and took her to the hospital. She ended up being there for, I think 4 days, maybe 5 days. Then they ended up sending her to rehab. And she was at rehab for a couple of weeks. And then we ended up bringing her here to our house. My husband is one of 4 sons, of 4 of her sons. And it just, you know, our situation was the best to have her here with us. So I have been, I guess for lack of a better word, a caregiver. So she was pretty discouraged at first, you know. She just felt like, you know, why would God let her get in that condition and still live? Because she was ready to go, and she was having a really rough time with it. So anyhow, we you know, we just kept caring for her, and she was in the house here with her. We actually have like a little apartment for her at the back of our house, but we have her right here in the house with us, and she likes that better. So I don't know if you can see over here, we've been doing a lot of puzzles, a lot. She loves the 300-piece puzzles. The 500 ones kind of discourage her a bit. I mean, I noticed that when we did the 500-piece puzzles, she would kind of just sit there and put 1 or 2 pieces together, and then she would get up and leave. But she really liked she really did like the 300 piece. It seems much more enjoyable for her, and then she can complete them. So I've been ordering quite a few so that we could have them when one finishes, then she has another one ready to go. So, you know, that just changes your life. No matter how wonderful she is or it is, it changes your life and your lifestyle. So I have been doing quilts and sewing on my quilts. I actually even moved a sewing machine downstairs out of my sewing room so that I could be downstairs with her. She always says, no, go do what you need to do and don't worry about us. But of course, I mean, don't worry about her, but of course I do. And she's a little bit forgetting stuff, you know, and getting a little bit confused on some things. And so you know, we try to somebody stay with her all the time. And so I've been doing some of my sewing, and like I said, I brought a lot of it downstairs so I could be down here where she is. So I don't know, I just haven't well, for one thing, you know, when she's down here and I'm videotaping, of course I could videotape up in my sewing room too, so I'm some of the excuse as well, of course. But she you know, I don't want to say anything in front of her because I don't want her to feel like we don't want her here, because we do, of course. And you know, she's very agreeable, and she eats whatever I put in front of her. You know, for breakfast, she always has 2 cups of coffee, and then she has a piece of toast. She likes the toast with the 2nd cup of coffee. And then she has, she'll eat whatever I put before her for lunch and whatever I put before her for dinner. She doesn't complain at all, so that's good. And, you know, she's a sweet lady, of course. She really is. And we're doing good, but I'm gonna go ahead, and I need to get back in doing my videos. And I will have to show you one of the quilts I've done. I made a quilt for my sister for her birthday. She doesn't know it yet, so I'm going to have to go ahead and maybe I'll get it to her. Her birthday was April the 7th, and didn't quite make it. I missed her birthday, so I'll have to, maybe I can take it to her tomorrow for Easter. So for Easter, we're going to go to my daughter's house and have Easter. So I went ahead and got a package of 30 plastic eggs. I mean, they're coloring eggs and stuff at their house, but I got and since I've seen you, let me finish my sentence first. I got 30 plastic eggs, and I'm going to fill them up with goodies so they can have some to hide and find, along with whatever eggs they have too. But I thought that might be fun from Grammy. And then I do have a little, I bought a little cellophane bags, actually at the Dollar Tree. I think there was 10 of them for $1.25. And I'm going to put those all together and put some little goodies in them and stuff for the girls and boys. Mostly the little ones are girls, so that's why I say girls. But we're all doing really pretty good. Like I said, it's different, you know, and I am going to set things up differently. I'm going to move things around and set things up differently because I needed some place to hang her clothing and, you know, just get her stuff ready where it's convenient for her. So I had a big rack that I put in the bathroom for her so that she could actually hang her clothes up and then pick out what she wants. I went to her house and got a handful of different clothes so she could choose different clothes to wear. And see, I'm putting some eyeliner on. This is just a pencil eyeliner, and I love it. It actually is one of the ones from Lime Life, but it's pretty slickery. It goes on like butter. But I've used some from Elf and other places too, so. I forgot what the other thing I was going to tell you. I totally forgot that. And then my papa, he is actually my stepdad. And him and my mother married when I was 15 years old. I'm 71, so he's been my stepdad a long time. He's 102. He turned 102 in February. And so then the other day, he was not doing well. He didn't feel good. He couldn't get out of the bed. So I have one of my brothers that lives there with him, which makes it a miracle for us. You know, it makes it so nice for all of us other kids, you know, that we don't have to go out there continually. So I had to go check on Papa, and so I had my daughter come stay here with Granny, and then my brother had to leave for North Carolina to go see his daughter and grandbabies, so I spent the night at Papa's. So my husband was here with Granny, and then my daughter had to go to work early that whole week, so she had to be there at 6:50, so she would bring my granddaughter, and so Grammy would take her to school every morning. So anyhow, I've been a busy girl, but you know, I'm doing okay. My papa, he can barely hear thunder. So I ended up, we got him hearing aids, but he didn't like those. So I bought him this thing called a pocket talker, and you put it in your pocket, and it has a little microphone on it. And then you put, you know, whatever it's called that you just use with any hearing. Well, for crying out loud, like earbuds, except they have to have a wire on them for that one. So he does that. But if you call him on the phone, he can't hear you at all. I mean, at all. So I ordered one of those phones for him that has, you plug it in and you have to hook it up to Wi-Fi, but it prints out the words. Well, he didn't like it at first at all, but the words were too small. So I put the font really big, and he said, that's too big. And so I made it just a little bit smaller, and he said, that's good right there. And then we finally realized it has a speaker so terribly loud. It rings terribly loud. It even has a flash when it rings if you want it to. And so when Papa was, we were trying to test it out, you know, he would take his earphone and put it right against the receiver of the phone. Well, it distorted and he couldn't hear. Said, Papa, go about this far from the earphone. Well, that was perfect. He loved that. So now we can actually talk to Papa on the phone because he can listen, and what he does hear you know, he can read it, so it makes more sense for him. So that's good. Well, mother-in-law, in the meantime, all of a sudden, she can't hear thunder either without her hearing aid. She can hear nothing. I mean, we're talking nothing. She can't even read your lips. I mean, so my husband had to take her to the cardiologist just for a checkup because she has a stent in her aorta valve or whatever. I think that's what it's called. And so he said that when he took her, he says, I'm never doing that again. You have to do it from now on, because he said he finally got her up there and she couldn't hear anything. So he took some papers and a pencil. And when he pulled up, you know, he says, go, Mom, we're going to be late, because she had to stop and use the restroom at the rest area on the way. So it was running him a bit late. So he says, go, go. And he said, she just looked at him. He says, go. And so then he went and parked the car. And when he got there, he said that her and the nurse were writing notes and pushing it back and forth. And so then the nurse said, he said, I'm her son. She said, oh, good. Oh, good. When is her birth date? So he said he looked at her and then he writes down on the paper, birth date, question mark. And then he said they had to sit down and do one of those tablets and put all the answers to the question. He said, I'm not taking her again. You have to take her next time. I'm not taking her. Oh, it was so funny. We laughed. I laughed so hard when he was telling me that story. It was just, I was crying. It was so funny. But anyhow, so Papa is better. He was able to get up and sit in the chair, and he loves his phone now that he can read, and we can call him and talk to him. And Granny Rose, we called the hearing aid guy that had worked for her. He actually comes to our house, and so he came and cleaned out her hearing aids and told her she had to have her ears cleaned. So she could barely hear then. Well, she actually could hear pretty well with them after he got them all cleaned out. Said, you have to go get your ears washed out. Well, she lives a good little distance from us, and her doctor's even the other direction. But she doesn't, her primary care is kind of a new primary care to her. So I thought, well, let's sign her up with the primary care this direction, because I think she's probably going to be here for the rest of her life. And so I signed her up, and she kept saying, I need to get my ears washed out. Remember? Can you call for me? I need to get my ears washed out. I said, okay. And then a little bit later, I need to get my ears washed out. Do you remember? So can you call and get that set up? I said, okay. So I called and got it all set up, and they could do it that day. I said, is that soon enough? Isn't that fun, Granny? They're going to do it today. So we took her in, and they washed her ears out. And he said, well, really? There's not even enough in there to wash your ears out, but they did. They washed her ears out and made her happy. Well, he said, there's not really enough. I don't think we should wash them out. She goes, well, since I'm here, don't you think that you should go ahead and wash them out because I'm already here? And he says, well, I think you're flirting with me. And if you want your ears washed out, I'll wash your ears out for you. I said, she's kind of like a little sweet bulldog. When she wants something, she wants it. Oh, dear. But anyhow, she's 95 and has lived a very full, busy life. She crochets a lot. So my daughter, my youngest daughter, said, Granny, can you make some hats for us, like you crocheted hats? And she said, yes, I love that. I want a project to do. So then her friend at work says, I want one too. So Tiffany went and bought some yarn for Granny, and Granny made the hats for them. They were so happy, and they were sending pictures and everything. So then now she says, her friend needs 2 baby blankets, needs a boy baby blanket and a girl baby blanket. So Granny is crocheting those. She said she really likes projects to do. And so crocheting and puzzles. And she likes, another thing she likes is crossword puzzles. Well, we bought her several books of crossword puzzles, and I noticed she never used those at all. And I would say, oh, well, here's your crossword puzzle book. But my daughter Tiffany started buying her a newspaper every day and bringing it to her. So I told Tiff, I says, well, maybe we should just subscribe and have it delivered every day. But Tiffany brings her one every day, and there's a crossword puzzle in that. She loves those. I don't know what the difference is the ones in the newspaper versus the ones in the books, but she loves the ones from the newspaper. So I said, okay, Granny. And so she does those every day. She likes those. She loves sitting out in the sunshine on the porch, and she's an outdoor sort of girl. I'm kind of an inside cat, if you know what I mean. I like outside. I like sitting outside and stuff, but I love sewing and, you know, things like that. So I'm kind of an inside girl, but she loves being outside. And so I'm trying to set up little areas where she can just sit right out on the porch. And so she was using a walk. First she used a wheelchair, and then she used a walker, and now she's on a cane. And so the therapist comes to our house one day a week. And so he had her walk out to the gate and back, out to the gate and back with her cane, and then walk down the sidewalk a little bit. So she feels pretty happy about that. But like I said, it's, you know, it's different, but it's okay. And I'm going to get her a little dresser. I have in our bathroom, which I used to do my videos there, I have a makeup table for one granddaughter and another little makeup table for another one. But I think we're going to move that one makeup table out, and I'll put some over here so my granddaughter can use this area. And I think we'll put her a little dresser in there so she can get all of her belongings and, you know, have a little place that's all her own. And then I saw a deal, right now we keep our towels and washcloths and hand towels in the closet in the bathroom, but I'm going to order one of those things. I saw one on Amazon where you can roll your towels up and just put them right beside the sink, besides hanging the ones up. And I think that make it a little bit easier for her. And, you know, I'm just trying to set things up where it's easy and convenient for her, getting stuff out of the way so she can get through. And so that's where I've been. That's what's been going on. It's been a lot different. And I don't know, I'm not down, but I don't know. I just couldn't seem to put a video out. So anyhow, there you have it. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm going to, after I get done with this one, sometime today, I may take it upstairs to my sewing room and put out the deal that I've just made, finished up 2 quilts, and they're so pretty. I think you're going to love them. So anyhow, God bless you. You know, we all have different seasons of our life and different times that we, you know, each thing is different, and this one is just a new season, a new different time. And so God bless you all. And tomorrow is Easter, and I'm so thankful for Jesus. And anyhow, God bless you, and I'll talk to all of you all really soon. If you like this video, or this channel even, this isn't such a, you know, information video except for what I've been doing, please give me a thumbs up and make comments, because that makes a big difference in your channel. Okay, I'll talk to all you good people later. Okay, bye-bye.